Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here with a thought experiment. So this is something I actually been thinking about for a little while now and trying to figure out how to put it together. My thought experiment is as follows. I wanted to think about and check out how I think the 2025 Giants would have done against the 2024 Giants' schedule. So I'm going to start with week one. Last year, week one, we played Minnesota. We went into that game thinking we got this, right? I mean, J.J. McCarthy was out for the year, their rookie quarterback they just drafted, and we were going to face Sam Darnold, Sam Icy Ghost Darnold. And we figured, yeah, well, Brian Burns is here now, Dexter Lawrence up the middle. We're going to just, and Kayvon on the other side. He's going to be running for his life. We got this. And it started out that way, right? The second play of the game, Dexter Lawrence sacked Sam Darnold, and the third play of the game, they threw a little flare pass that they fumbled, and we took over like on their 15-yard line, and we wound up with a field goal. We didn't get in the end zone, but we wound up with a field goal. We're up 3-0 right away. So yeah, I think it's important to look at some of the key plays that followed that early lead that we had and think about how might this year's Giants have handled some of those situations. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a look at some of the key plays from that game, not the whole game, and how would the 2025 Giants do against the 2024 Giants schedule? Well, let's start with this. So the second possession after we kick the field goal, Adoree gets called for a pass interference. Darnold has plenty of time to throw. The safety help is late. There's Pinnock getting beat deep, which is not your job as a safety. And we draw the pass interference, or they draw the pass interference against us. So what might the 2025 Giants have done better? Well, first of all, I think Javon Holland doesn't allow Jordan Addison to run right past him. Like, you're the deep safety. Like, that's your job. So, both of these receivers are behind you, right? That guy's behind you, this guy's behind you. So who are you covering? So I think we have better safety play this year. I think Adoree Jackson being gone helps, addition by subtraction. And hopefully either Paulson Adebo or Tay Banks, or for that matter, Drew Phillips, does a better job of not getting beat deep right off the line of scrimmage. You see, right off the line, you're in press man, Adoree, but you don't press the man. Like, he just gets a free release and runs right past you, and he's apparently a lot faster than you. So that's something we can do better next year. The very next play, Tyler Nubin, again, he's a rookie, right? This is his first game in the NFL. I've shown you this play before. I've talked about it before. I'm not going to get too hard on him, but this is bad coverage. This is Tyler Nubin. And this tight end is just going to release. And you just have to close faster than this. Like, that's just way too late. You see him jumping up to make this catch already. Who were you covering? No one, right? You were covering grass. So as soon as this tight end got behind Darius Muasau, which is because this running back released, Muasau has to pick him up now. Tight end is now yours, Tyler Nubin. So you can't keep backpedaling, not covering anybody while he's running free with 10 yards of cushion around him. I mean, I could have thrown that pass. So yeah, I think next year meaning this year, the 2025 Giants have better safety play, right? Javon Holland is going to be a better safety, and I hope will make Tyler Nubin an even better safety than he's been. And here's that same play from a second angle. I guess we don't really need a second angle. I showed you this before, but just to show you that Muasau is the linebacker at first, and then he sees a running back release, so he steps up. Tyler, you got to be there a lot faster than that. Okay. I showed you this play before as well. What are Banks and Pinnock thinking? Justin Jefferson is just going to run right past them like they're not there. It's kind of annoying. So let's watch. Let's watch Banks do nothing. Watch him stand still as Justin Jefferson, inarguably a top five receiver in the league, maybe the best receiver in the league, just runs right past you. And now you turn and start running. Really? Really? I mean, even if you thought you had better safety help than you got, who are you covering if it's not Justin Jefferson? There's nobody else out here for you to be covering. Cover this man. Why watch him run past you and then cover him? What is the point of that? What is the upside of having him run behind you? The ball is out, right? You see Sam Darnold says, what? You're going to let him run right past you? Fine. So the ball's out. There's the ball. And where's the safety help? Well, Javon Holland will do a better job than this because, as you can see, there's still no safety help. Oh, there he is. Well, the ball's caught now, and you still didn't make the tackle, right? Banks had to come back and make the tackle. Luckily, it was a little bit underthrown. So I think we have better cornerback play from Paulson Adebo because I think Adebo would probably be on Justin Jefferson and better safety help with Javon Holland. So I don't think that play happens. So instead of going from, your 10 to midfield and beyond, maybe that's just an incomplete pass or a check down. Okay. That's that same play again. I can't watch it anymore. We take Dexter out. There's no run stuffing, and we have this ridiculously bad alignment. This makes no sense to me. Why are there two inside linebackers a yard apart? Like they literally could shake hands from here. Like if they each extended their arm, they'd touch each other. The football field is 53 and a third yards wide. Why do I need two linebackers 1 yard apart? That's a whole lot of field not being covered. That makes no sense. It especially makes no sense with only two interior defensive linemen. Clearly, there's going to be holes, right? This is easy to block two interior defensive linemen, even if Dexter was there, which he's not. And so what happens? Washed. They're all just washed, right? Defensive tackle washed, defensive tackle washed. Two linebackers trying to fit the same hole, washed. And a huge running play that didn't have to happen. Now, one more thing I want to look at. Tyler Nubin. Let's watch Tyler Nubin on this play. Just watch him. The ball is snapped at the 14-yard line. Tyler Nubin is at the 26. It is clearly a running play, right? Already, offensive linemen are downfield, right? If you know the rule book and watched any football before, and I'm sure he has done both of those things, you know that when the offensive linemen come downfield, you can't throw the ball anymore. So the fact that the ball was snapped at the 14 and there's two linemen at the 16 means it's not a pass. It is a running play. So why are you still here? And backpedaling, no less. Why are you still backpedaling? You started to play on the 26. What are you doing after the ball's handed off? Still backpedaling. And now you're watching and watching. And now you take a couple of steps up, but you wait till now to put your hands on his head like you made the tackle, like you helped out. You did nothing. You did nothing for the whole play. Watch him in real time doing nothing. Well, this is still in slow motion, but watch the whole play. So the combination of Dexter's not there, there's only two defensive linemen, the two interior defensive inside linebackers are standing right next to each other and trying to fit the same hole and both getting washed out. And Tyler Newman is back here 15 yards off the play doing nothing. I think we're going to be better at all those things. I think Darius Leonard is going to be better. I'm sorry, Darius Alexander is going to be better than DJ Davidson. I think that Jeremiah Ledbetter is going to be better than Raheem Nunez Roches. So I think the interior defensive line is going to be better. I think Shane Bowen is going to be better at having three defensive linemen on the field more often, so that it's not so easy to run on us. I think he's also going to be better at not having two inside linebackers standing close enough to high five each other instead of spread out farther so they can actually make a tackle. I have to just say this one more time. You're telling me that if this linebacker was 2 steps to his right and this one was 2 steps to his left, that wouldn't have been better? It's much easier to close in on the A gap than to get out wide on the B or the C gap or on a wide sweep. So yeah, we just have to stop this alignment. This alignment is terrible. This is that same play. And let's just watch the wash, right? Washed. Linebackers going to get washed. Because again, when there's only two defensive linemen, their offensive linemen, can easily release to the second level, right? It doesn't take much to try to get your body on a defensive lineman whose name isn't Dexter Lawrence. And now I'm not quite sure what DJ Davidson was doing here unless he was being held because he seems to just be walking away from the play. The play ran right behind him. But nevertheless, bad. And there's Tyler Newman coming up to tap you on your head after you're down already. So yes, I think we'll be better than the 2024 Giants were with that. Our pass protection wasn't very good. I blame that partially on the fact that starters don't play in the preseason. So again, you heard me say this earlier. We got to get more reps for the starters in the preseason because this pass protection just isn't very good, right? And it's week one for everybody, so I get that. But you're telling me that with six people blocking four, he's still going to get hit. I mean, that was a terrible pass, don't get me wrong. And it wasn't like he got hit, but he got pressured up the middle. That spin move was very nice, but why didn't John Michael Schmitz pick you up instead of looking to his left? He should have been looking to his right. By the time he looks back, it's too late. You're already past him, and now there's pressure right up and down your Jones's face. And that was a terrible throw. But we'll have a better quarterback this year, so maybe that throw isn't so terrible. Maybe he takes a step to his right and makes a better throw. This one really annoyed me. The pass protection here really annoyed me. So you've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven people blocking four. And then, in fairness, the running back releases and eventually the tight end releases after he chips. But still, watch the decisions our offensive line makes as far as who to block and who not to block. So there's a stunt. Andrew Van Ginkel comes on a loop inside, and we just watch him. I'll just let you see this play finish as Daniel Jones just winds up throwing the ball away. But again, it's basically 6-on-4. So here's a tight end. He's going to chip, right? So now you have him, you two have him, you two have him, and you have him. We should be in good shape, right? The running back sees that and says, okay, I'm going to release because we're in good shape. But no, now he's going to loop on this little stunt. And who are you blocking? No one. So instead, you look to Andrew Thomas, the best left tackle the best pass protector on our team, one of the five or six best left tackles in football. That's who you decide to go try and help instead of all this congestion to this side. And you never even see Van Ginkel, who just ran like 8 yards to get to that hole. You still haven't seen him. Daniel Jones sees him, though. Terrible. That is terrible. Again, everybody's giving, Brasillo all this credit. And again, it was only week one. So maybe as the season progressed and he had chance to watch films like this, he could sit down and say, guys, this is what you did wrong. And it did get better, but that was terrible. Here's that defensive lineman again. We got lucky this time because their offensive line, like ours, just got some cardio on this play. Just ran down parallel to the line of scrimmage and didn't block anybody. But these two inside linebackers right next to each other, not helpful. And you see how hard he's got to work to get outside because he was too far inside. He overruns the play. But of course, this guy's own offensive lineman got in his way, so he wasn't able to actually turn it back upfield like he wanted to. But the fact is, because you are in this box which is like 5 yards deep, but only like 2.5, 3 yards wide, you don't have enough leverage to get outside and stop it. We don't need you in the A gap. We don't need both of you in the A gap, that's for sure. But now you've got to run like a bat out of hell to try to get outside because you know you were too far inside and you overrun the play because you were desperate to get outside to make up the ground you missed. Fortunately, their offensive linemen are also not very good in week one. So we got away with it this time. Here, just very quickly, I want you to see that Brian Burns lined up an inside linebacker sometimes. We keep talking about how we're going to get all three of these guys on the field. How are we going to get Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns on the field? Well, we did the same thing last year when we had Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Azeez Ojulari. Sometimes we put Burns in the middle. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get home all the time. He didn't get home this time, but he has played from the middle. He has been a stand-up inside linebacker rushing, and you see he gets double teamed. Now, there was no pressure there. So, like, that wasn't a great example of him getting home, but it is an example that Shane Bowen will use him pass rushing from the middle. I side because I'm looking at the next play, which is Muisau blows a run fit, and that's going to be a recurring theme. I don't understand this. I just don't. Why would you do that? Why, Muisau? This is Muisau. Would you, in this annoying alignment again, where you've now got three people kind of inside the box, so to speak? Why, when you see it's a run, why are you? Yes, I know that somebody went in motion, but let them do their job. You do your job. This is your job. He's got this. So you coming over to trying to make this hero ball play is why this cutback lane is big enough for me to run through. I'm 132 and a half years old, and I could have run through that hole. So, and then of course there's Tyler Newman, 10 yards downfield. finally making the tackle. He did make the tackle, but it'd been nice if he made that tackle, 5 yards ago. But he must not have known it was a running play, even though the whole stadium did. But whatever. So yes, this is a Muasau blows the run fit. This is Muasau blows the run fit again, and this time, in addition to that, Adoree Jackson takes a terrible angle. Terrible angle. Do your job. That's not your job, Muasau. This is your job. This is your job. And then you, Dory, you're going to let him run for 15 more yards because instead of coming downhill and taking away the sideline, you gave up the sideline. You think I'm kidding? Let's watch that same play from this angle. Same play. Muasau, instead of coming out here, you crash inside. Running back bounces outside. And instead of you coming outside and forcing him to cut inside where your help is, you take a terrible angle, get stiff armed at the 35, and he makes it another 15 yards down to the 20 because you took a terrible angle. He maybe should have had 5 more yards, but not 15. What will the 2025 Giants do better? I think that Darius Alexander is a better defensive tackle. Like I said, I don't like this alignment, but even if you're in this alignment, I think Darius Muasau won't be on the field. I think that Micah McFadden probably will, or if we're in a 3-3-4, then maybe that's Drew Phillips if he's the slot cornerback. But I don't think that they're going to have the opportunity to bounce outside through this gaping hole because even if it's just Shane Bowen doing a better job of coaching up Muasau or whoever's playing inside linebacker, do your job. This is your job. And, you know, I think our defensive backs will be better at tackling this year, except for Tate Banks, who is terrible. This was just a great catch by Neighbors. I mean, it's not all bad news. The pass protection wasn't outstanding, given there's like 11 Giants on the line of scrimmage, it seems like, maybe 12. Somehow, Daniel Jones still gets, pressure off the edge and pressure up in his face, but he throws the ball in a place where only Neighbors could catch it, and Neighbors did catch it. Very nice catch by Neighbors. So I'm hoping to see Russell Wilson make plays like that, I think, more consistently. And I think the fact that he'll also be throwing deeper to Jalen Hyatt and Darius Slayton more often, and Neighbors, but certainly to those two, will make it easier to make those kind of completions to Neighbors. So I think that everybody benefits from a better quarterback. Everybody on our team benefits from a better quarterback. What does that say? Bad inside linebacker spacing and fits again. I can't believe that. These two inside linebackers too close to each other again. Did we not learn this lesson yet? We did not. And so he bounces and then cuts it upfield. And that wasn't a huge play, but again, if you're not going to line up wider, at least do your job, your job. So with this linebacker here, why would you go to this blocker's right, your left? Why not come this way? Because you know you've got help this way. So instead of doing that and giving up this bounce outside, you could have come through this hole and forced him into the help. But no, that's not what you did. And that's why he picked up so many yards. So, yeah, that same play, different angle. I'm getting tired of we can't seem to get our inside linebackers far enough apart and or fitting correctly. See, I think that was on you. Okay, so that's my take on how last year might have gone with next year's team. I think that it is more important that Shane Bowen have a good season this year than almost anybody on the Giants defense. I think it's more important that we get reps for our offensive linemen in the preseason so that by the time week one gets here, they know each other's names, they know each other's tendencies, they can say to each other, I got you. I can pick up a stunt. So the outside linebacker looping inside, I got this. So we don't have to have six blockers on 4 rushers and still get our quarterback hit consistently. So that's what I think. I want to know what you think. So please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. and let me know what you think about this thought experiment and whether we should do more of them through the rest of the 2024 season with the 2025 roster. Okay, Clay from Bklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. And I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.